Before we get into the playoff stuff, though, if I may, indulge me for a moment, and I know Elijah wants to weigh in on this. I don't know if he knows where I'm getting ready to go, but if you haven't yet heard, we talked about it this morning, so you're prepared. The University of Tennessee and the University of Nebraska were scheduled to play a home-and-home football series in 26 and 27. In 26, they were going to play in Lincoln with the return trip the following year. Just a couple of days ago, the University of Nebraska informed the University of Tennessee that they would be paying the buyout and canceling the series. And in a statement, the University of Nebraska, I'm paraphrasing now, but said something to the effect of, well, we think we're going to be doing some renovations that year, and it might have an impact, so we'd like to play 8 home games. And since we were supposed to go to Tennessee out of conference, we don't want to do that anymore. And it's really going to impact us financially here at the school and in Lincoln. And so we just have to have that 8th home game because we have reduced stadium capacity. Once I read that, I immediately went back to my bathroom and took the biggest swig of Pepto that I possibly could because I was about to hurl. That is the lamest excuse.
Soft.
I have heard in a long time.
Charmin soft.
I get it, okay? I get what Nebraska football means to the fans and to Lincoln and that the folks drive over from Omaha and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Listen, I don't mean this to sound callous. I know some people might take it this way. In 2027, you might have to charge a little bit more for tickets because the demand will be higher. And that's part of supply and demand. I know you don't want to do it. And I'm not here just raise your ticket prices. But you have to look at the circumstances and adjust accordingly. But instead of adjusting accordingly with supply and demand on tickets, they adjusted by canceling a series with an SEC school.
That requires $1 million to buy out.
They pay $500,000 for each game. They're paying them $1 million. And Danny White, the AD at Tennessee, basically said the consequences need to be a lot stiffer because this contract is so old. And it is. I think it's darn near 20 years ago that they got into this. Because that's sometimes just how long it takes. I wish it didn't. But it
silly,
does.
But
that's the reality. We all know that part. That's the reality of college football. But this is soft. And I'm sorry, Nebraska. I believe you that you're going to renovate your stadium. I get it.
Yeah,
South Carolina's about to renovate their stadium, and stadium renovations are part of life. That's fine. But you need to play that game because I don't buy for 1 second that it's completely financial. I don't think they want to play 10. I think they've looked at the current landscape. I think Matt Rhule has been so you know what, man?
Paranoid?
Yeah. The Baylor Matt Rhule, I was a fan of. And I didn't think it was a horrible hire when he went to Charlotte. It's just that the owner up there doesn't know what's going on, and maybe Matt wasn't ready to coach professionals. I don't know. Matt has become, with the spring game stuff, and there's a real sense of paranoia there. And now this?
It's lame, man.
It is.
It runs counter to every spirit of college athletics. And here's the wild thing, too. Matt Rhule is canceling this because we know they don't want to play Tennessee. I think that has been made abundantly clear for the entire time. Because if you're paying $1 million to buy it out, are you really missing $1 million at the gate for your stadium renovations to miss out on one game during your stadium renovations? No, absolutely not. If you're worried about losing a game to Tennessee because you think it might hurt playoff chances, when was the last time they were seriously in playoff contention? I'm being serious. You're not trying to be.
And by then with a new format, what will it look like? But are you thinking? Is beating, and I'm just throwing out Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Because, this late in the game, who are you going to fill the hole with?
Right.
So is beating Western Michigan?
They might as well make Creighton form a football team and go out there and play.
Sure. Well, they might by then, But is beating whomever gonna really enhance your playoff chance relative to, say, maybe playing a good game with Tennessee? What if you beat Tennessee? I'm not saying.
Yeah,
you might be able to
play the game. You don't know if you don't play the game,
right?
And here's the thing too: if he thinks it's because he really wants to make a push to the college football playoff, you have to beat the teams in your own conference first.
Yes,
they haven't had a winning conference record since 2016. And they also haven't won 9 games in a regular season since 2016, which even in an expanded playoff, you have to do bare minimum to be considered to be in the college football playoff. This isn't something that they're in contention for every year. It's not like, we got kind of jobbed because our schedule was too hard non-conference. We want to get in the playoff. Buddy, you hadn't been in that neighborhood in a long
How long have they been
time.
in the Big Ten now? About 20 years?
They have been, 2011. So they have been in the Big Ten now for 13 years.
Okay.
This will be their 14th.
It's soft. It's
laughably soft.
It's just really soft. Yeah, you know what? Now that you say that, the first year they were in was the Carolina-Nebraska Citrus Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah. I've told this before. I told you, you've heard me say this. We were all, at the end of the game, we're all in the media or in the press conference. And that's when Bo Pelini, and Nebraska scored all of its points in that game, like the first 10 minutes of the game. So in the final 50 minutes, they did not score. And Bo Pelini looked at everybody. He was like, yeah, well, the best team didn't win in that way, Bo Pelini angry way. And even the Nebraska guys were like looking around at each other.
Buddy, you saw the final score, right?
You were here, coach. This is soft. Soft. Don't like it.